Good morning, Somerset. This is Taunton calling. Welcome to the Taunton Cafe. I do apologise for the delay. I had a few technical issues with my Firefox. So hopefully somebody will let me know they can hear me in a second. So that would be lovely. But welcome anyway. My name's Carolyn and I'm a village agent for the Taunton team. And I'm sure you know about the different teams and the organisations that we have. Oh, hello, morning. And I'm part of the Taunton Dean team, which covers quite a wide area actually. It goes right across Taunton and Wellington. Yes, Wellington's my area. I love all of Somerset actually, but Wellington is the area that I cover mostly. Oh, you can hear me. Thank you. And the surrounding villages, but we all help each other out actually all the time. But I just wanted to just mention some of the other villages that we cover right across the Wellington and Wellington without, and Bradford on Tone, Wiveliscombe, Milverton, Bishops, Lydiard, Norton, Fitzwarren, Kingston, St Mary, right across Prizewood, right across Taunton, Creech, St Michael, Burbridge, Stoke St Gregory, North Curry, Troll, Churching Ford, Churching Stanton. So it's massive, which is great. And so if you have any, want to get in touch for yourself or for a friend or a family member with their consent, always, or if you're a professional and you'd like to get in touch with us for help with the person's consent, we'd be more than happy to help. We could take phone calls, which could be, the number is 01823 33222, or if you wanted to go onto our website, which is the Community Council for Somerset, we've got a really quick click and request for a callback, and somebody will be able to contact you as soon as possible, pretty quick. It is pretty quick, and that's right across Somerset. So if you have somebody that lives outside our area, please do get in touch, of course, and we can connect you up with the right person for that team, and that will be brilliant. Morning, Caroline. Marilyn, hello, Marilyn. Hello, Lauren. So it's lovely to see you all. And today, as some of you will know, we're going to focus in on pets. So I have on my I've got 3 dogs actually. 2 of them are up here because I'm upstairs at the moment. So that's one of them's downstairs because he's 15 nearly, and he might be the stairs are a bit much and it gets a bit discombobulated. So I've got to keep an eye on them, which is like children and dogs. Don't work with them, they say, but hey, you have to, don't you? Pet focus. So what we're going to be looking at in different areas, we're going to be looking at the benefits of pets for people, as anybody will know who has a pet. They're just such a lovely companions. I'm going to lift them up and show them to you in a minute, but I'll just carry on for a minute, let them settle out, because they're not usually allowed up here actually. So they think it's marvellous. The one time our 1-year-old, in fact I'll show you, Polly, bless her, I love her so much. We used to let them up for a little while, I don't know why we did, we must have been a bit mad. So then we banned them, and then Polly sneaked up. And the one time she did, I should have taken a photo, she took a little nibble right on the step, but you can't miss it, about that big, of our carpet. So thanks, Polly, for that. But I love her so much that she's forgiven, because she's gone out there a bit, so I'll get her in a minute. So yeah, of course the benefits are just, they're just tremendous, aren't they? Even if you're, excuse me, I'm just stretching across for something for a little bit later. If you've fallen out with maybe your partner, or you're having a bad day, or you're just fed up being on your own, the company of a pet is just invaluable, isn't it, as we know? And it's not always possible for everybody to have a pet. We also know that. But there's also other ways, isn't there? There's lots of other ways that we can be involved with animals and nature and wildlife and so on too. So, if it's not possible to have a pet, a dog or a cat, you could have, maybe a bird, or my niece actually has got two house rabbits, which is really quite lovely. She's just they're gorgeous little things, and they love them dearly. But you know, even if you wanted to have a bird feeder outside, that's something anybody could do, isn't it? We've got one of those that you know you fit into the ground, and I just thought, in fact, I need to go and fill it. I should have filled it this morning, but I've been a bit distracted. So so even if you have one, even if you can't put one on the ground, even if you're in like a first or second floor flat, you can get those that stick on the window, can't you? And it's so lovely to just get that contact with nature and so on. So there's even if it was just in that way, or you can just actually, I don't know if you can hear it now because I was really hoping it was going to be a nice day. Don't know, well, you can probably got your windows open, you can hear the bird song, and that's so beautiful as well, isn't it? I'm just going to pause. Thank you, Lauren. Deccan, Billy Jason. Oh, hello, Deccan. I hope I pronounced that right. Welcome to you too. So, bear with me a second. Yeah. Oh, yes. So other ways that I don't know if anybody's been watching Spring Watch this season. I've absolutely loved it. Absolutely loved it. And they've got it's just finished, but you can get it and catch up, you know. And they've got a pollen watch going on at the moment, so anybody could be involved in trying to gather information for them for that, which is brilliant too, isn't it? It's a lovely way to just be able to help the you know conservation projects and so forth. And also, I don't know if anybody saw this morning on breakfast television. They had I watch BBC Breakfast sometimes. And I really Dan Walker just cracks me up. I think he's so funny. He's brilliant. And then they were talking about this. They've managed to capture the sound. I think it was of I think I've just put it down because I was so interested in it. I think it's queen bees, and they managed to catch the sounds of queen bees. It's through highly sensitive vibration detectors. Yes, and when you hear them, you might be able to catch this up. If not, they don't sound like wasps at all. They sound like ducks. Actually, they sound like quacking ducks or tooting horns, something like that. which was really interesting. And then Naga, who's his oppo, she said, well, I thought wasps had no purpose. And Dan's like, we need to have Chris Packham on this show. And he's saying about all that he's been doing with he loves wasps because he loves wasps, Chris Packham. And Dan Walker was saying about this little project that he'd been doing because he's got an old door in his garden apparently, and he filmed, you know, he was monitoring the wasps, and he filmed them picking the old paint off the door, and then they went off to make their nest with it, which was wonderful. And apparently they're very important in the ecological system, the biological system, and they move pollen around the garden a lot. So now we know. I didn't know that either. So I don't dislike wasps, but I do prefer bees, I have to say. So that's something else, yeah. That, you know, and there's other programs, aren't there? There's other programs, lovely programs on the television. I don't know if anybody saw a catch up of the All Creatures, Great and Small programs, which were on. We thought there was the whole series, but it turned out just to be a couple. I don't know. Hopefully we'll find them. And they're so lovely, aren't they? And they're just such a kind of, they give you a real feel good factor, and that was really enjoyable. And also, you know, another way to enjoy that kind of thing is through books, isn't it? The All Creatures books are fantastic too. So you can get those, you know, still. And if anybody had sight issues and so forth, you can get the talking books, can't you? Which are really great as well. I keep thinking I might get some of those because it might be nice just to lie down and let somebody read a story to you or something like that. And but obviously, if you you know would want that because of a sight, some kind of sight issue, then Somerset Site do have a lot of talking books, as do the libraries as well. And another programme that was on air, it's a little while ago now, was the Durrells, and I don't know if anybody saw that. It's about it's written by Gerald Durrell, and it's about this family when he was little and he went to live in Corfu, And oh, it's just the TV program's called The Durrells, and it's hilarious, absolutely hilarious. I would thoroughly recommend catching up with that. But the book was called, which I had to read at school actually, and I absolutely loved it. It was called My Family and Other Animals, which I think relates probably to us. Probably. But it's, you know, if you wanted to get that, yeah, it's lovely. Our son, he went to Cannington College, Finn, and he studied animal management there, and he did some of the shifts for the lambing, and he actually delivered a lamb, and he said it was one of the highlights of his life, really. And then he went on to study animal behaviour and welfare at Hartby College. He said he used to base some of his studies on us. I don't know what he meant by that, but his love of animals is as ours is. So that's great, isn't it? There's always something somewhere that can make you feel, you know, it just makes you feel better being around animals. I think a lot of us think. So I'm just going to then stop a minute and breathe, and then we're going to have a look at a few other some of the organisations that have been really fantastic, or a lot of organisations have, you know, at the moment. So I need to scroll down a bit, I think. Maybe. Oh, bear with me. I'm just trying to scroll down to see what, without actually cutting myself off. Morning. Do you cover... Oh, hello, Karen. Do you cover Burnham on C, please? That is in Somerset, isn't it? Of course it is. So yes, we do. And I'm sure our lovely Hannah will give us the contact details for Burnham in a minute. Yes, that will be Sedgemoor, wouldn't it? I think. Hannah, could you, if that's okay? Would be morning cafe. Oh, 3 dogs, lucky thing. Yeah, 3 dogs, mad. You mean mad? I absolutely love them. But we started off with 1, then 2, now 3, and such a treat. Oh, yeah, yes, Lucy. Hello, Lucy. Yes, yeah, you will. Hi, Chrissy. Bird songing, full glory, hearing Mendic, fantastic. Lovely seeing and hearing the birds, yeah. So many butterflies and bees on my walk this morning, how lovely. Spring watch, yeah, spring watch, no, definitely. We need to see Chris Packham's wasps, don't we? Yeah, BBC Nature, lovely. There was a really interesting programme on iPlayer recently about animals and their link to humans. Oh, yeah, definitely. Can't remember the name yet. Yeah, if you would, you can find out the name, Lucy, that would be fantastic. Between wolf behaviour and dog, oh gosh, yeah. Brilliant, yeah. So, other ways that, go back, please. I've got my little notes here. Stopped. Other ways that we can get involved is through being involved with organisations too, isn't it? Such as there's a donkey sanctuary in Sidmouth. It's just into, is it Devon? I think. And you know, you can get involved with Adopting Donkey. How lovely is that? I don't know if anybody's visited that place. You know, which is not open just at the moment, but hopefully it won't be too long before it opens up again. That's so lovely there. And there's the Fern Animal Sanctuary in Chard, and the National Animal Welfare Trust, which is kind of also known as Heaven's Gate in Langport, which that name makes me feel a bit sad, but it's a lovely organisation actually. Where before one of these predecessors, we had a border terrier called Ted, and I loved him so much. He lived to be 15, but I nearly was the cause of me having to just leave home forever, because I thought I'd lost him. Well, I did lose him for a little while because he had cataracts. Oh, he was so lovely. So I just used to let him off, you know, by the time he had those, on this little walk to tiny little bit, just so that he was just going down a field, nice and safe, and then he would stop and wait for me, and I put him on his lead again. But this particular day, I did that, and the light was just dropping just a little bit, and somebody, it was into a field, you see, and somebody turned around, and they kind of, I think they'd put the headlights on, and because he had cataracts, he couldn't see, you know, very well, and I think the light caught his attention, and he went running off towards it, down towards the lane, and I was like, oh, Ted, legging it after him. But he just kind of, you know, I kind of did the circuit where I thought he'd gone, wasn't there, carried on, nothing. And I had to go and tell the family, in the case Jess and Finn are children growing up now. And I was just mortified because obviously I was responsible for him, and I thought, well, I'm just going to have to leave home and never come back because this is it. I was so, honestly, I was out nearly all night. Everybody was out. I had some put it on Facebook, and I'm like, Finn, what are you putting it on Facebook? And he's like, you know, I'm trying to help. Mum, trying to help. And afterwards I was like, oh, thank you so much. And anyway, of course he was chips, which they have to be now, don't they? And it turned out that next morning we had a call from Heaven's Gate to say we believe we might know where your border terrier Ted is. And I just nearly fainted on the spot. And it turns out that not long after he'd gone from where I could see him, he was just down the lane, and this really kind gentleman, he just stopped in the middle of the lane because he couldn't see him anymore. And this gentleman would have been heading towards him, stopped, opened his doors, kind of stopped anything else. And blow me, he had another border terrier in his car with him, and of course he didn't know where I wasn't there by then. I was running around the field like a complete distraught person that I was, and so he put him in his car, took him home for the night. So Ted went and had bed and breakfast with this lovely family with their border terrier, made a new friend, and he was absolutely fine. I was a wreck. And then the next day, you know, thank goodness we got the phone call. And we went to pick him up, and he just sat there, you know, happy as like in the lounge, just practically having a cup of tea and a biscuit. I'm like, yeah, what's the matter with you? So it was just fantastic to get him back. And thank you for Heaven's Gate. I will be eternally grateful to them. There's also obviously the RSPCA at West Hatch, and I've just spoken to somebody recently, the other day actually, who had to have an emergency operation for their cat, and it was really expensive, and it would probably have died otherwise. And the RSPCA were able to make a donation towards that, which is fantastic, wasn't it? And also, I have to mention St Giles Kennels in Rantage, which have been brilliant. They're a lovely organisation. It's family run, so they've got the kennels, and they've also got the vets, and they've got the adoption service as well. And they'll always they'll you know, it's always very careful with the you know, adoption rehoming process, and they will always take a pet back, so you can always be kind of, they're always there as an umbrella or a cushion or whatever, and I think they're wonderful. So thank you, St Giles, for we've had our dogs in the kennels many times, don't knock the tail over. And this is I don't know if you can be able to see this, but I'll read it out to you. This is something that were community care pet project that they were doing, still are, for the COVID-19 response. So I'll just read a few things out that they were able to offer over and above what they might have been able to. So they've been offering, they still are. The number for St Giles is 01823 490 333. And they offer things like over the phone training tips, veterinary consultant advice over the phone, over 60% discount, over 80s, not that yet, but you know, over 8% off for over 80s, and free nurse consultations over the phone, discount for boarding for those who are hospitalised. It's nice, isn't it? Discounts for NHS workers, medication delivery, dog food delivery for their own branded dog food. Our dogs have that, actually, they really like it. And the free calming and massage techniques for your pets. How lovely. And free enrichment ideas, pet games for your feline and canine friends. Isn't that wonderful? And they also produce these issues, which you can, if you wanted. Sorry about the light, because I didn't manage to get them, but at least I got my banner at the back, so that's good. And next to the dogs, just parking, some dogs everywhere. So this is if you wanted to have this emailed to you, you can ring them or email if you need an email address. It's probably on here somewhere, I'm sure, but we can get that to you as well. And they've got all kinds of things in here about different dogs that have been rescued and the different services they offer, all kinds of physiotherapy, acupuncture. Oh gosh, look at this lady. What are they? Oh, I should have read this, shouldn't I? This, the sunny head lady who smelt of wool. And that's one I should have read earlier, but I didn't, so never mind. But it's got some lovely stuff in it, and keeping your pets active during lockdown. That's brilliant, isn't it? Garden jumps, balance and control. That's a really nice idea, isn't it? Oh, and this is some of the pets for adoption. So they have all kinds of things on here, and I'm trying to show you a picture somewhere. I'll find it maybe in a minute. They got all kinds of lovely stuff, and oh, that's Mabel, who was adopted a couple of years ago. Oh, I love dogs' names. There's Jack. We went to see a lurcher called Mabel once at Fern Animal Sanctuary when we were just before we got Polly. But it wasn't the dog for me. But they obviously have some people. But she was called Mabel, but she didn't like Chester. They didn't like each other, so that was that. And probably as well because I wouldn't have had a chance of if I nearly lost a border terrier. What a chance would I have with a lurcher? And that's Jack, who's now. It's his family business with his parents and then he came through and he's got fantastic training and he manages it now. So he's a very nice chap, and it's all such a lovely organisation. So I'm going to pause for breath and have a little look here a second. So thanks for that, Lucy. That was great. Sagemore tea. That's Burnham, isn't it? Yes. Thank you. So, hi Karen. Yes, we do. Lisa, yeah. I'm a bit quiet, am I? Deccan, am I quiet? Sorry, I was trying to speak up. Sorry. St Giles, yeah. Oh, Mel. Hi there, Mel. Mel gave me a really great a piece she'd found about how to acclimatise, how to familiarise pets with dogs, or any pets with people who need to wear a face mask. I'll try and look at that link, Mel, if I can. So thanks for that. Oh, including, yeah. Sorry, that was a fine. Mel, one of my lovely colleagues, says she's got 4 dogs and 2 cats fostered from St Giles, one of their ex-puppy farm dogs who we have now adopted. Oh, that's really lovely. Oh, thank you, Hannah, to put that on there. Right, okay, that's great. So I'm just going to put another pair of glasses on, but I've got a pair on, so I don't need to worry about that. Right, okay. So another thing I was going to mention was, obviously in terms of books, I need to also go on to thank a few people as well in a minute, which I certainly will do. But just before I move on to that, this is it's quite an old book actually, British Wildlife, but it's brilliant. I absolutely love it. So it's really nice to just learn new things, isn't it? So for instance, if you wanted to know about a lesser horseshoe bat, why would you not? They're distinguished from other bat species by horseshoe-shaped nose leaves. And during the summer months, they use caves and cellars for daytime roost, and they're active for much of the night in search of moths. Wing beats fast and fluttering, and in winter they hibernate deep in caves. We get bats swooping a lot. I'm sure you probably do in your garden, and they're just it's quite dramatic, isn't it? I might have, if it makes you feel like ducking a little bit sometimes, but it is. So lovely, and the natural world, isn't it? And another thing that we were just recently, I was trying to familiarise myself with, was the difference between swifts and swallows, because I sometimes get a bit mixed up with it, and sand martins and house martins and stuff like that. So this book really gives a really lovely example, just kind of the difference between them. So the swifts have more of a kind of pointy tail. The swallows have got that kind of V, which is That's how you tell those two apart. And then there's the San Martins down here and the House Martins. And I'm not quite. Yeah, the House Martins have got darker colour there, I think. So that's so I just love this book. It's got all kinds of stuff, you know, animals, birds, insects, mammals, and so on. One of the other things I was just looking at was the common woodlice. Because they're everywhere, aren't they? And I just love the way they curl up to try not to get killed, basically, which is brilliant, isn't it? It's so clever. So I'm forever just kind of I bet a lot of people do this. You just kind of keep your eye on them, don't you? And then you prod them a little bit to see if they move, and then you leave it quite a while just in case they know you're there, and they know that you know, and you know. And then they're just gradually in fun. You can go and put them somewhere safe. It takes you ages, you know, if you've gone like around a bit that you haven't hoovered behind somewhere for a little while, there might be some there. It takes you a while, doesn't it, to work out if they need to be released into the wild. So that's a really nice thing, you know, just things like that. And so yeah, so I would like to say a big thank you to Skinners who have been so generous for so many people with the donations of Colin, I'll come back to this, pet food throughout Somerset, and our agents have been meeting up with them, taking delivery and delivering them, and that's just such a lovely thing to do, and it's been really appreciated. So thank you so much, Skinners. The Taunton Food Bank, who have been marvellous too. Thank you, Taunton Food Bank. They will also deliver, for people who need food parcels, they will deliver pet food as well, including dog food, cat food, and rabbit food, which is just helps, doesn't it, take the pressure off with when you're trying to manage, and it's not easy, and nobody asked to be, you know, nobody knew we were going to be in this position, did they, for one second? And also just worth mentioning is the Cinnamon Trust, because they help people, they're a national charity, and they support people, particularly people aged over 60 and people who have got a life-limiting illness, and their pets, and that can help to take the worry and anguish in that respect, and to help people to feel a bit more relaxed about knowing that their pets are okay, and they can help with things like dog walking and fostering, and they can fetch, and the volunteers, it's all volunteer led, which is just wonderful, isn't it? So thank you to all the fantastic volunteers. And they can help get animal food, they can walk pets, of course, they can clean out bird cages, and the Cinnamon Trust also has a pet friendly care home register that lists, if people were to you know, for whatever reason they want or need, or you know, decide to go into a care or retirement home, they've got lists of places that are happy to take residents with their pets, and they're based in Hale in Cornwall, actually, the Cinnamon Trust, but they you know, they work nationally, and they're on Facebook. And if I get a chance in a moment, hopefully, to show you some photos before, but I don't want to click off this just yet. There's a lovely photo of Harry, this terrier that was on the Facebook page of the Cinnamon Trust, and he needed more walks. And when, you know, if I hope I'll be able to show the photo, you can see why he probably didn't stroll along, because he's so cute. And one of his volunteer walkers said he was so excited to be going on his walk, it was difficult to keep him still. Sounds like yeah, you know that feeling. And actually, they're requesting for more volunteers at the moment. So if you know anybody that would like to get involved with that, that would be you know, something that would be much appreciated, I'm sure. And also, I just mentioned Tim Potter's Butchers in Wellington. They've been doing a fantastic job along with the local residents and the volunteer groups. Thank you again for those. The Wellington Community Volunteer Group has just been absolutely marvellous. Meg, who coordinates it, I work with regularly, and she's just been something else. She's fantastic, absolutely fantastic. And they're working in partnership, and also with the PDADI, with the Fiona, thank you again, from PDADI Foods. So they're now delivering the food boxes, which they're managing through the generosity of local residents and organisations, and they're also delivering some frozen meals to people. That's fantastic. And also, the reason I kind of got onto this was because not only are they doing all of that, but they also put complimentary bags of bones outside the shop each day, so that people can give their dogs a tasty treat. And how lovely is that? So what I'm going to try and do now is just have a little look. I'm going to stop and breathe a minute. Can I just have a little, excuse me, a little drink. This is a mocktail. It's not even a mocktail, it's just squash. I just have a straw because it makes me feel like I'm on holiday. So let's just have a little look if there's any more comments. Colin's British Wildlife book is fabulous. Oh, that is Colin's one, isn't it? Yeah, that's his. Yeah. Oh, thank you. Yeah, it is. It's fantastic. It really is. You can learn so much, honestly. But it's a more up to date one, of course, will be available now. This is still, a lot of this is completely relevant still, but actually this one was published in 1997. So it's this is what actually I think my husband bought this from ages ago because he was, and I'm so glad he did because it's fantastic. So I'm going to make an attempt to be able to show you and talk about a few examples that people have kindly shared and that they were happy for me to share. So let's see if I can get this photo of this lovely lady called Shirley. And because, as I should have said, actually, we usually, under normal circumstances, I run the Taunton, the Talking Cafe in Wellington at the Wear Centre. Hello, Barbara, if you're there. Barbara Ford manages the Wear Centre, and she's busily beavering away, trying to fundraise for when we can open again. So normally it would be there in Wellington at the Wear Centre on North Street in Wellington. But of course, we're doing these at the moment, and whether we'll continue to do these, it would be great for people. Not everybody can get to places anyway, can they? So, but Shirley, who's very happy for me to show this, she did go along and will do again hopefully soon to the Wear Centre, and this is probably going to be a bit technological. Let me just sort myself out here. Let's see if I can make it turn right way round. If I just hold it straight, it'll probably help, won't it? Oh, right. So no, this is Shirley. This is like, look, all right. No, Shirley, and Shirley with, it's a bit sideways, obviously. Sorry about that. With Annie. Anyway, so I have to view it sideways for the moment, I think, unless I'll try that. And that was her at the Wear Centre, which they're not really supposed to have dogs, but we had a very kind permission for people, Barbara, so we're down the end for people who otherwise they won't be able to get out. So it's really important, and that was recognised. So I apologise, I have to show that sideways, but that's Shirley and lovely Annie. And Shirley was very happy for me to also mention, I'm going to try and show you another photo. This is, where's it gone? This is, I'll show you in a minute, hopefully, Annie in her basket, in a walker. That's how she travels around. She's an older sausage dog, Dashan, and that's how she travels around in Wellington. You may have seen Shirley and Annie, and they don't go, they're inseparable. So this is the dog that I wandered around the GP surgery car park one day so that Shirley could attend her GP appointment, and it was it was a really nice 15 and 20 minutes, except for the fact that Annie seemed to decide she might just jump out and go and join Shirley's appointment. So that was quite funny. I just had to keep talking to her like you would a baby in a pushchair, really. But that was really lovely. So that's Shirley and Annie, and I'm going to then hopefully be able to show you some, or at least talk about some other examples that I've been sent very kindly by different people, by some colleagues. So this is from Mel. Thank you, Mel. This is from the Dogs Trust, and it's about advice. Dogs Trust has issued advice to prevent separation anxiety. So that's really great, isn't it? Because sometimes there are reasons why, that dogs do need to be separated from their owners for a little while. And so that's really nice that information is available, isn't it? And yeah, that's the same one. And then there's a lovely story of a that Carrie sent me. Thank you very much, Carrie. Of a dog called, oh, a little terrier called, I'll just show a photo first. And this is Norman's dog, Jess. And Norman is very kindly given permission for us to show that as well. How lovely. Our daughter's called Jess. And it's, as Carrie said, this client, this is Norman, was is happy to be photographed and have his story told. And they were very grateful for the Skinner Dogs biscuits. Norman rescued Jess over 12 years ago when she was a young dog with a broken leg. An injury many years ago caused Norman to have a serious back injury, and he lives on his own, and so his dog Jess means everything to him. Isn't that lovely? There's another one of Jess, and Norman's very kindly given us permission, and he might be sideways. That's Norman with his dog Jess. Sorry, you're sideways, Norman, and Jess on upside down, for that matter. But thank you so much for agreeing to share that. That's lovely. And also there's Holly and Cara. This is from. This is also from my colleague Carrie. Thank you, Carrie. I'm just trying to get to the information on this one. So this is another kind of story, really. Oh, they were also received the Skinner's Field and Trial dog food to their doorstep. Oh, thank you so much. And it's about a client in the 60s who lost their partner a few years ago and has severe memory loss and suspected dementia. The family had the dogs for the last 15 years actually, and they bring them comfort through their familiarity and friendliness. And the client takes them for walks still, and then they help him, oh my goodness, they help him find his way around and back home. Wonderful. Let's see if I can show you a picture of Holly. Oh, look, Holly and Cara. Holly and Cara at the doorstep with their bags of food from Skinner's. How wonderful. Thank you so much. So that's that one. And then here's this is another one, okay. Gizzy the Staffy was taken some dog food. A relatively young man with a physical disability. He rescued Gizzy 10 years ago from being locked up in a concrete backyard. She's now 10 years old and in her prime. She's well behaved around dogs and people, and this is the client's mainstay. He says, Gizzy keeps me company as I don't see anyone else. She gets me out and about. Previously, we could go in the car to nice places, of course, where I can sit and play with her and run around, but it's a bit more difficult because you can't, there's no benches at the moment, is there? But there are footpaths to the fields. So I'll try and show you a photo. So that's lovely, isn't it? That's Gizzy. She's gorgeous, and how lovely that she's become a real constant companion for this gentleman. That's fantastic, isn't it? Okay, so I'm going to try and see. There's actually, in fact, I'll just pause for a second, take a breath, and just have a little drink. Excuse me, just a second. Summer fruit squash, I hasten to add, if I didn't already. Just to be clear, I'll just have a little look down. It is a lovely book. Yeah, it is a lovely book. Lucy. Oh, Lucy said she saw some bats by the river a few weeks ago. It was amazing. Around sunset, so many diving down onto the river, feeding on the flies. Oh, fantastic. Yeah, absolutely lovely. I think you live in, well, you know, Somerset is gorgeous, isn't it? And we're so lucky to live in such a beautiful county. And I think, Lucy, you make absolutely, as we all try to do, I'm sure, but you absolutely make the most, don't you, of being out and, you know, surrounded by the countryside and the wildlife and so on. There's a couple more stories I'm going to try and let you know about. I've got so many devices here, honestly. It's everything's probably just going to shut down in a minute. No, don't tell. So, okay, so Lucy. Oh, this is a clip of Lucy's dog. No, cat. It's not a dog, it's a cat. I don't know if you can see that. Deciding to come for a walk with her. I don't know if you've still got this cat, Lucy. Can you see? Oh, that's called Mono, I think. Mono. Yes, it is. It's called Mono. Is that a cat you've still got, Lucy? Hello, Wendy. Is that still? She'll tell me when she Lucy. Oh, isn't that lovely? Yes, no, it's not. It's on here. My dog's like. Oh, let me just see what you said about this. Oh, yes, here's Mono videos coming for a walk with me. Oh, brilliant. Ooh, on the way home from this walk, a hubby didn't like the look of Mono, so defended her nest and babies by calling and swooping over her. Ooh, see if I can see any of them. Oh, the bird song. See, always bird song. Gosh, sorry about that. I don't know if that's blocking this or not. Actually, it keeps going. Do you want to make changes? No, thank you. So that's lovely. Thank you, Lucy. And I've lost my other phone somehow or other. I'm sure it's not far away because on there I got some things from my lovely colleague Hazel, and I don't know where they are, so I'm going to try. I don't know where my phone is. You should see, if you turn it around, you would see everything scattered everywhere, so I'm not turning it around. It's a bit like, you know, with this kind of thing, you don't have to worry about the back of your head, which I like, quite like that. So I'm going to try now and just see if I can find a couple of things from Hazel, who's very talented in many ways. She's just started. This is another thing we can do, isn't it? We can start to just be more creative, got more time. And Hazel has done some lovely photos of watercolours. Isn't that beautiful? That's Hazel. How gorgeous. That's lovely, isn't it? And there's it's just and there's her dog. I think it's Dexter. I don't know where she is, Hazel. She might not be here at the moment, but I think that's Dexter. Let me just check. I think it is. Apologies if it's not. But anyway, obviously there it is, having a nice little snooze. Dexter, Hazel's dog, which is just lovely, isn't it? Cute as anything. Thank you very much, Hazel. Oh, and she was telling me, I think it's Dexter, she was telling me about that one day, I think it was a thunderstorm. Hazel was in the bath. I think it was a thunderstorm. Apologies, Hazel, if I'm wrong there. And Dexter wasn't very impressed and got a bit frightened. And all of a sudden, he just jumped into the bath with her. And so her peace and quiet was spoiled a little bit, I think. But that was quite funny, wasn't it? Well, I'm sure you might not have thought so at the time, Hazel. But and there's another, actually, just made me think. I'll try and show you a photo in a minute of our daughter. Has got a retired. Oh, here it is. This is Milo and Dougal. Milo's a retired racehorse, so he has a life of Riley now, and that's Dougal, his companion. And every so often they take themselves out for a walk because they just can, because they just seem to have they're escapologists, and they took themselves off to the local primary school one day a few months ago, which was a bit you probably not advisable, but the children thought it was absolutely hilarious, and no animals or children were harmed during that event, I hasten to add. And actually somebody from the school recognised them and contacted Jess. In fact, I think they were halfway home with them with I think they had a belt or a scarf or something round Milo, and Dougal just followed on behind. So it was all quite funny, but not to be recommended, of course. In fact, obviously one of the things to think about is pet insurance, because it is important for anything, you know, if they have anything that they need, you know, might happen to them, like the lady who had to have the operation on a cat, or anything should happen. So, you know, it's good to have a look around. Obviously, we can't recommend insurers per se, but it is a good thing definitely to have public liability insurance, as clearly illustrated with my school playground story. And I did notice one, and this isn't a recommendation, but it's just I thought it was funny. And it's once, you know, you could have a look at and make, of course, your own judgment. Was it's called Pets in a Pickle, which I thought, that's an insurance, which I thought that was quite funny and very appropriate, actually. So that was Milo and Dougal. Now this is a little clip because this I'll try and show you from here. Oh shush! Oh shush! Sorry, my Google's talking to me. I don't know why. Sorry about that. So I'm hoping I'll be able to show you this in a second. Just go back. This is what happens every meal time with our dogs, because Chester just thinks it's hilarious. I'm hoping I'll be able to find the video to show you. Right, bear with me a second, but basically it looks like, I'm going to try my best because it is quite a comical one. And it's what they do to oh, here we are. It's like a routine that they go through to get their food, because Chester's, well, yeah, he's lovely, he's funny. So this is, hopefully you'll be able to see it.
Go get your book. Good boy, thank you. Where's your other ball?
So those are the 3 dogs. I will show you them in a minute.
Boy, thank you. Where's your other ball? Good boy, thank you. Good boy. Good boy. Breakfast time.
Breakfast time. So that's Chester, and then that's Polly at the back. So I'll show you them at this point. So here's some treats I made earlier. Well, no, I didn't. I brought them upstairs, obviously. Oh, so what's this? Oh, Chester, come here, come here. Hopefully, come here, come on, come here, come on. Oh, Polly, she's usually right. I'll try and come on. They're like, what are you doing? We can't normally do this. Come on, come on. Whoa, come on. Oh, we come. So this is Polly. Oh, Polly. Hello, Polly. Hello, this is Polly. Hello, Polly. What's this? What's this? Oh, now you're interested, aren't you? Okay. Oh, good girl. She usually has to wait because she's the youngest. So that's Polly. Oh, Chester. What's this? Chester, come here. Chester, come here. Come on, come on. So this is Chester. What's that? What's that? I'll try. What's this? What's this? There. I might show you. I might be able to show you that in a minute. So that's I have my hand gel, by the way, as we all do at the moment. Sorry, it's gone a bit wobbly. So that's Polly and Chester. So they're happy for a minute now. And yeah, I love them so much. I'll have a look at a couple of comments. There's something else I would like to mention in a minute. That's quite topical this morning. However, I'll just have a look at some of the. Thank you, Wendy. Oh, so cute. Thank you. I know, Hazel. Yeah, they're beautiful, aren't they? Hazel's very talented. Simon's very. Oh. Oh, hi, Shirley. Oh, did you see the photos of yourself, Shirley? Oh, Polly. Yeah, that's Polly. So this morning, also on breakfast television, did you see that? Well, it was yesterday, wasn't it, that Marcus Rashford was on with them, talking about trying to. This is just moving off the subject ever so slightly, but it's very topical because it kind of returns to the food bank. About the at the moment in the UK, the government aren't extending the food vouchers over into through the school holidays, which hopefully they're debating it in Parliament today. And I mean, it's so important, isn't it? It's not going to change how it was over the next, over the extent of the summer holidays, is it? So fingers crossed they have a change of heart, because Wales and Scotland they're carrying on, and these food vouchers, be used to either as food vouchers per se, or bank transfers to the families so that they can get, if they need any special dietary requirements particularly, and so forth. And it can also help them to access meal deliveries. So, and Marcus Flashbury was saying how his family really relied on the free school meals system, and so he really, now he's in the position he is, he really wanted to speak out, which is really great, isn't it? And hopefully they might have a change of heart. Let's hope so. And so Dexter, yeah, I know, isn't it? I've got a little well, this is a book actually I was looking at earlier, which I've always kept since children were little, and I really love it. And actually our daughter's due to have a baby in 5 weeks, so I'm so glad we didn't get rid of all this stuff, because it always comes around, doesn't it? So this is a little poem, if you wouldn't mind. It's ever so short, but it's called Answer to a Child's Question. Okay. the dogs are chomping away on their chews in the background, so that's good. Good harmonies. Okay. So, answer to a child's question. Do you ask what the birds say? The sparrow, the dove, the linnet and thrush say, I love and I love. In the winter they're silent. The wind is so strong. What it says I don't know, but it sings a loud song. But green leaves and blossoms and sunny warm weather and singing and loving all come back together. But the lark is so brimful of gladness and love, the green fields below him, the blue sky above, that he sings and forever sings he. I love my love and my love loves me. Oh, I'm so crying. That's lovely, isn't that? Samuel Coleridge that wrote that. Well, there, we're nearly at the end of our today's broadcast, and apologies once again for the delay. But also, I think I'll just, if I may, I'll just sing just a couple of lines, if that's okay, just to sum up. I think I was going to play with my ukulele, but I think it's not quite as it the tuning to the song. I'm just going to sing a couple of lines. So here we go. So this is about sums things up for the way I think a lot of us feel at the moment and how it would be. So here we go. So, bring me sunshine in your smile, bring me laughter all the while. In this world where we live, there should be more happiness. Bring me fun, bring me laughter, bring me love, sweet love. Bring me fun, bring me laughter, bring me love. That's it, that's all, folks. They probably won't let me on again now. But it's been lovely chatting with you all, and hopefully see you again soon. Take care.